Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. Generally like to talk a lot of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general, and in this video we're going to be talking about a word game. I generally hate word games, but today we're going to be speaking about unspeakable words, and in this game you'll be making up words from cards in your hand. You'll be scoring points based on how many angles there are on the card, then you'll be rolling a die, but you'll be hoping that you can score points that will allow you to win the game. So in this video we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules to tell you what we do like, what we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Unspeakable Words is still worth your time and bother several years after its first release. So remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. We'll see you after this. Bollocks! So, Unspeakable Words. How'd you play this game? So Unspeakable Words is a word game for 2 to 6 players. Each player is going to get 7 cards in their hand, and they're going to get 5 Cthulu meeple tokens that will represent their level of insanity. On your turn, you will play a number of cards from your hand that will make up a word, and you will add up all of the points values of the cards. Then you'll have to make a sanity check. This means that you will have to roll a 20-sided die and then get equal to or more than your point value on that die. A 20 will always mean that you will succeed, so you could go over 20 points on the cards if you want to. Obviously it's a little bit risky. If you don't pass your sanity check, you have to dump a Cthulu token, but you get points anyway. It doesn't matter whether you pass your sanity check or not, you will still score that number of points. If you go down to 1 Cthulhu marker, then you go insane and you can make up any kind of word you want. You can make up a load of gibberish, but you will have to justify your word by telling all the other players exactly what the fuck it means. But if you do make the sanity check, then nothing happens and you just carry on as normal. There are other cards in the deck that maybe change a letter to a 6-pointer, or maybe you've got a card that acts as a wild letter and gives you a number of points equal to the number of Cthulhu markers that you have got. If you ever lose all of your Cthulhu markers, then you are out of the game, so there is player elimination in this, but you keep doing this until one player gets over 100 points, or you are the last player standing in terms of Cthulhu tokens, and that player will be the winner of Unspeakable Words. So what do we like about Unspeakable Words? So the first thing that we really like about this game is that the push your luck element adds a much needed level of tension to this game. If you think back to the days when you used to play Scrabble, okay, you people at the back, you probably still play Scrabble because you are boring bastards, right? If you think back to the days when you played Scrabble, there is no real tension in the game. You either made a word or you didn't. And it was more like a memory game. If you memorized all the decent high scoring words, then you are more likely to win than somebody that hadn't. So it had nothing to do with making words at all. The push your luck element in this, where you can gamble on higher scoring words but then lose your sanity markers, really gives you that sort of squeaky bum time feeling, because you can push your luck early in the game because you've got an abundance of sanity tokens, but as you gradually lose them, you're going to be shitting yourself even on the low die rolls, right? So do you go all out at the start and try and get up the ladder on the points to try and get 200 points quicker, or do you hold back, be conservative, and then when everyone else has shot their load all over the kitchen floor, you come in and start licking it up? So the second thing that we really like about this is it teaches my kids to spell, right? This is one word game that they actually enjoy playing. If you told them to go and read a book, they tell you to fuck off, I want to go and play Fortnite or some other stupid kid shit like that. But they actually enjoy playing this. Since we got this, they have asked for this every single day, and who am I to deny them playing a board game? So not only is it good for you, it's a decent family game, my kids love it, and that's always a good thing, isn't it? So the final thing that we really like about this game is that it's got a bit of comedy value in here as well. When you are down to your last Cthulhu token, you have the ability to just lay down any cards you want, and it can be quite funny when somebody gets creative and makes up a word for something completely outlandish, and it makes everyone giggle and guffaw in unison, right? So not only has it got pushy luck, it's also got a little bit of baldy humour in here as well. And whilst I wouldn't do this with my kids, right, even though they have tried to put a few naughty words on the table, for us adults, I use that term very loosely for you lot, but for us adults, it can provide you with a bit of smart humour, right? So what don't we like about Unspeakable Words? So the first thing that we don't like about this game is that sometimes your hand contains absolutely fuck all, and you are forced into just discarding all of your cards and drawing another 7 cards. And there's no compensation for this, right? The rules don't specify that you can do anything. You don't get any points. You can't take back a Cthulu marker or anything. So you're going to be like one turn behind. In a sense, this is sort of like miss a turn type shit that you would expect from some crummy Hasbro game from the 80s, yeah? So it's not welcome. We house rule something in where you do get back a Cthulhu token that you have lost, or if you can make a word, you have to do it. If you involuntarily have to handle your cards back in, then you do get a little bonus there, right? So yeah, it's a bit shit, but there you go. So second thing that we don't really like about this is with 6 players, 100 points can be a little bit too long. I've seen people's eyes start to glaze over when they get into the 70 points. They think, fucking hell, I've still got 30 points to go, and waiting for your turn, it can drag just a little bit, right? So it's not really a case that you could take any cards out, because if you do that, you're not going to be able to make as many words, right? So don't know, I like this with all player counts, but 6 is pushing it just that little tiny bit, you know. So the final thing that we don't really like about this is that it doesn't seem like there's enough cards in the deck, right? There's 97 cards in the deck, and if you take out these special action cards, then there's going to be less cards in the deck as well. So you're going to find yourself running out of cards, maybe shuffling the cards 3 or 4 times per game, right, depending on the length of the words that people are going to be making. And it is a pain in the arse, right? Someone's got to keep score, someone's got to hand the cards out, someone's got to shuffle the cards, and really this amount of shuffling, if you play this game as much as we have, then the game isn't going to last very long at all, right? Riffle shuffles are the only way to do this. If you don't do it, then you're going to end up with words in the deck, right? But riffle shuffling fucks the cards up big style, doesn't it? So I wouldn't recommend it. There's just not really any way around it. I suppose you could save the cards, but then they become all slippy and sloppy, right? So unspeakable words. Is it still worth your time and bother? Fuck me, it's 16 years old. 16 years after it was first released. So we're going to say, yes, this is a truly exceptional word game for people that hate word games like me and my wife, right? My wife absolutely fucking hates word games, but this is a game that she wants to play again and again. I know, it's a bit weird, isn't it? The push your luck aspect is the icing on the cake for us. If that weren't in here, this would just be another boring fucking word game. And there is a nice catch up with the silly words when you get down to your last Cthulhu porn. Love to watch a bit of that Cthulhu porn, wouldn't you? If you get down to your last one, then you can basically make up words, any kind of words that you like, yeah? It can be slightly unfair if you draw a crock of shit in your hand. If there's no vowels in your hand, then you are forced to discard all your cards and have no compensation. But you can always house rule in a couple of mitigations for that. Like we said, you get a Cthulhu token back, and this game comes highly recommended from us. In fact, we're going to give it the top bollock recommendation award for games that are easy to teach, easy to play, and don't require that much effort, right? So there you go, that is Unspeakable Words. Remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button, all that YouTube bullshit. See you next time.